Parents of Reddit, what are things that teenagers do that you don't understand or find strange? I worked at camp with teens, 13-15, and I don't understand why they call each other boyfriend and girlfriend but then don't actually speak to each other. Then they break up a week later and are completely devastated. My BF's niece is 13 or 14 and I see her posting things on Instagram along lines of like this to get ATBH, so I guess if people like the photo, then she tells them something like, to be honest I think her cool but like we never RLY talk and stuff but we totally should. Why aren't you guys just honest with each other in the first place? In real life? Most teens think those are really stupid as well. My 13-year-old purchases Instagram followers. They're basically fake Instagram accounts that follow him, making him look like he has 9 zillion Instagram followers, which apparently makes him the king of Instagram. But they're all fake. If anyone can explain this to me, I'd be forever grateful. What most teenagers fail to comprehend is that their parents were teenagers too, at some point. We understand far more than you think. We may not know current slang or understand some fad in particular, but we know why you use slang and follow fads. We've been there. Strangely, some parents seem to forget this too. My personal hypothesis is that some parents never actually grew out of adolescence. But in general, if you want to understand your teenage child, go back to your relationship with your parents when you were 16. I learned this at age 13 doing a genealogy project at school. You know, the interview someone old from your family and write a report thing. I interviewed my great-grandmother, who then proceeded to tell me stories of her sneaking out of her bedroom window in the middle of the night to ride 8 miles on horseback to the local dance to see her boyfriend. A lot. But the big one I don't understand at all is this. Why the heck are the seats so low on the bikes boys ride? And why do they tilt the seats up? Doesn't this potentially hurt them? When I see these I think, oh, that poor kid must be a eunuch. Try riding a normal bike around a BMX track. You need to stand up to cushion the bumps. But if your seat is at normal road height you don't have enough movement. So the first time you hit a bump it'll whack you in the balls. I've no idea why they tilt them though. I assume that was just because they didn't do it up tight enough. They need to tell everyone everything regardless of how little importance. At least that's my 15 years old sister's case. That explains a lot of the comments on Reddit. It took my parents a long time to learn that I was socializing and talking to friends through Skype. Get off the computer and talk to your friends. When I have my headset, mic, Skype, and a chat open. HM. My mom doesn't understand why there are white people in anime. I don't either. Well, I am a teenager, and I can't understand half the crap I do. Why do teenagers think it's cool to do stupid crap for the Vine or that girl who ate a tampon, or the cinnamon challenge, or the gallon challenge? Not a parent, but I don't understand teens who think it's funny to play a practical joke that causes property damage or physical injury. That crap wasn't funny when I was a teen and it isn't funny now. It's not funny, it makes them feel empowered, as if they've won a fight with their cunning. Also, a total lack of empathy. I'm not a parent, but as a gamer, why do parents always think that when I'm playing an online game that I can just pause it and all of the players online will just stop moving around? As more gamers get older and have kids, I'm looking forward to this switching. Don't try to pull that with me, boy. I know you can save in that game. Or, please son, you're within walking distance to that town, you can save there in about 5 minutes. Or, what I assume will be my favorite. Okay, hand over the controller. I'll play while you're gone. Why did they have to bring 80s fashion back? It was bad enough the first time around. Should have stayed dead. I am a teen, but I don't understand why a lot of teens start smoking. It doesn't get you high, you look like a minga junkie. It costs loads, more so since you can't legally buy them, and it ruins your health and appearance. Fair enough back in the day when it was cool and people didn't really know about the effects. But it's not cool now, you just look a state. I don't understand how they like tween wave music, it just sounds like crap to me. Steamy rave on. I'm not a parent yet, but I can't for the life of me figure out why my 13-year-old niece makes the peace sign by her eye for every photo. I swear I will beat her if she tries doing that for our wedding pictures. I hate it when I see teenagers doing things that were different from when I was a teenager. How dare they have their own fads and come up with things that are cool besides what I thought was cool. You just voiced the opinion of our entire generation. Dye their hair grey. Why? Because it's different and garners attention. All it takes. I'm a teenager now, but I just don't understand why everyone my age is so dang rude. Like, to everyone. Peers, parents, teachers. I just don't get it. Have all of you completely forgotten what it was like to be a teenager? It's all the same crap. And if we had the net back then, we would be doing the same dumb crap. I am not a teenager anymore, but I was. And I overheard my best friend's mom talking to mine. She was saying, I don't understand what they are up to. They get together, go in the room and keep laughing hysterically all the time. It's true, we kept laughing, but they won't understand. Now I'm 1600 kms far and my bro is over there. One word, weed. The YOLO and the swag and the iPhones and the doohickeys and all that jazz. Back when I was your age I had a family and ran a farm. You just sit on your butt and play your stupid frickin' game station. You little crap, I oughta learn you a lesson, go get my belt, boy. Why did my 17-year-old cousin say he can't come to our family dinner on Easter? Sorry to tell you, but Easter falls on 4/20 this year. Still a teenager, but just the behavior of some people my age. We all like a laugh and to have fun, but is that attitude really necessary? In public there's no need to scream, shout and act like a child. Also, we'll never understand a lot of teen fashions of today. Flat-brimmed hats and low-crotched trousers mainly. Back when I was a teenager I didn't enjoy most stuff other teenagers found funny or enjoyed. I was serious all the way through my teenage days doing my own thing, so I don't really understand the things people enjoyed back then, and I don't understand the stuff people like nowadays either. Sometimes when I'm keeping my teenagers in the freezer as a punishment, they'll start pounding on the freezer doors. It's so loud. It's so obnoxious. What are they thinking? 1. I'm not opening the freaking door, so why would you even try that? And 2, you're going to hurt your hand or waste your heat, which will get you killed, or worse, get us in trouble. My wife and I have even had the cops called on us. Jesus, you know what it's like spending half an hour convincing some low-life cop that everything's fine and the kids are downstairs cooling off? Unbelievable. I'm glad more parents are raising their children this way. More and more parents are losing control of their children. I'm a teenager, and what I think the biggest issue is that parents forget that they were a teenager too and that times have changed majorly. Parents seem to forget what it was like to have their parents harping on them for every freaking thing. Sometimes things we can't even control. They seem to forget the fact that they made mistakes too, and that they were stupid teenagers. Now, I understand the fact of them wanting to prevent us from making the same mistakes that they did. But if they never let us grow, never let us form our own opinions, never let us do anything, then we may just be doomed to make the same mistakes that they did. I know my parents love me very much, even if it doesn't seem like that all the time, but sometimes you have to let your kids screw up a few times before they learn, no matter how hard it is for them to watch. More than that, people with teenage kids, 40-year-olds, didn't grow up with the internet, except maybe some Usenet or something in college. Having universal access to the cumulative sum of human knowledge kind of changes a generation, particularly how they interact, consume culture, etc. Pretty much most of the current or recent fads, knockout game, Snapchat's popularity, the trending clothes, popular literature with the tweens, they all seem like the same love triangle told in different environments. Love when I hear high school kids talking about dressing fratty and looking forward to being in a frat when they really have no idea what is involved in being in a frat other than wearing those clothes. Haha. I do not understand how teenagers think threatening aggressive behavior is normal or okay. I'm sure all of your friends think you are the coolest of the coolest for challenging an adult to fight you. I'm a responsible adult. Yes, I will defend myself if necessary, but yelling at me, come at me B, I'll frick you up, while you pretend your friends are holding you back is just embarrassing. Also, if I feel threatened, my first response would be to walk away. I see no shame in that, and second, if I'm unable to remove myself, I will call the cops on you. I'm not out to impress anyone with my super awesome fighting skills, which I have none of, so please don't try to fight me. Testosterone. Ignore my sexual advances. When teenagers start tweeting bomb threats to airlines, welcome to the no-fly list. Not a parent, but seeing a group of like 6 kids hanging out, and every single one of them are on their phones texting people who aren't physically with them, not saying a word to each other other than "I'm bored." No crap, you're bored. You've already spent 4 hours in a virtual conversation in front of real people, you stupid little shat. No different than the kids of yore sitting around watching the telly. Lurking this thread hoping to find many laughs. BC teenagers are really odd things. My parents and I seldom talk about it, but my brother loses his freaking mind over League of Legends games. We'll never understand it. I honestly feel really bad for him. I feel like he needs loge rehab or some crap. Have you seen the video of that boy whose parents took away his WoW time? His brother secretly filmed his reaction and let's just say he went crazy. Leave their shoes untied. Texting, watching Netflix and playing a video game all at the same time. I am not a parent, but I do like to observe today's youth out of curiosity. Things I do not understand. Sucking air between your teeth to show attitude. Is this some sort of ritual to scare rival groups away? Saying like, a lot. Taking selfies and then adding butterflies and glittery flowers. And horribly misspelled quotes of things they probably don't have experience in. Very baggy pants on males. I see teens trying to walk, run and keep their pants on at the same time. It always ends up with them looking like a goof, either by falling, losing their pants, or the way the baggy pants make the walk or run. YOLO. What does this mean? Why are teenagers yelling it to each other randomly? You seem like you're 60 years old. I'm not a parent, but I don't understand teens whenever they are walking side by side down the street and both of them have just one earphone in while trying to have a conversation. I don't understand how teenagers don't want to go out and play. There is more to life, a lot more, than being online all the time or playing video games. Coming from a teen, we're just depressed and want to stay in, comma. Why do they always seem to want to get absolutely blind, falling over drunk when they go out? Why can't they just enjoy 1 or 2 drinks? Because alcohol isn't legal until age 21, giving it more appeal to minors. The constant Instagramming, Snapchatting, video recording. I would not like my picture taken every few seconds, thank you. EBB1 some fuck 13 years old. I'm a teenager and I don't understand why some teens wear STH under their bath shorts. Last week I got a letter home from my son's school saying he was on warning for inappropriate behavior. When I asked him what happened, he said that he stole a tray from the cafeteria then walked around the school shouting "tray chick" at various intervals. I just look forward to the day when he is an adult and will look back on all this lol. Okay, but that's kind of funny though. P. Teenagers scare the living crap out of me. Coming from a fellow teenager, I don't get why teenagers likes to bully others. What do they achieve from that? It's just horrible to see people getting bullied. Fellow teenager here. I can't understand everyone's infatuation with social media, their phones. At lunch, I look down the lunch table and 3/4 of the people will be glued to their phones, void of everyone else. Everybody is capable to make conversation. We all have been doing so for all our lives, when we didn't have access to smartphones until a couple years ago. But now, we'd rather play it safe and protect ourselves from possible criticism by not conversing. I'm not worried about the classmates of my age. We grew up during a time of no smartphones or social media. I'm worried about my entire generation who will grow up without knowing what it's like to have to talk with who's around you. They will miss crucial social skills. You are permitted to reproduce. Like this video and this good boy will play you a nice song. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.